Sometimes the lives of the greatest people are long-kept secrets which don't get the recognition they deserve. Maria Stewart is one of those people. Born a free African American in 1803, she was the first American person to give a speech to both men and women, black and white. She was the first African American to give public lectures, advocate for women's rights, and make a public anti-slavery speech. She was a religious woman, a teacher, and a master orator. Her teaching job paid her half the salary of what other teachers received at the time. Her calling was to awaken the people of injustices of the time, to inspire the enslaved to recognize that they were truly better than their condition, and to raise up black women and their voices. In 1831, she said it concisely. O ye daughters of Africa, awake, awake, arise. No longer sleep for slumber, but distinguish yourselves. Show forth to the world that you are endowed with noble and exalted faculties. Here to inspire us with excerpts from one of her most controversial speeches is Jamonica Warren.
African rights and liberty is a subject that ought to fire the breast of every free man of color in these United States, and excite in his bosom a lively, deep, decided, and heartfelt interest. When I cast my eyes on a long list of illustrious names that are enrolled on the bright annals of fame amongst the whites, I turn my eyes within and ask my thoughts, where are the names of our illustrious ones? It must certainly have been for the want of energy on the part of the free people of color that they have been long willing to bear the yoke of oppression. It must have been the want of ambition and force that has given the whites occasion to say that our natural abilities are not as good and our capabilities by nature inferior to theirs. We have suffered ourselves to be considered as dastards, cowards, mean, faint-hearted wretches. And on this account, not because of our complexion, many despise us and would gladly spurn us from their presence. It is true, our fathers bled and died in the Revolutionary War, and others fought bravely under the command of Jackson in defense of liberty. But where is the man that has distinguished himself in these modern days by acting wholly in the defense of African rights and liberty? I am sensible that there are many highly intelligent gentlemen of color in these United States, in the force of whose arguments, doubtless, I should discover my inferiority. But if they are blessed with wit and talent, friends and fortune, why have they not made themselves men of eminence by striving to take all the reproach that is cast upon the people of color, and in endeavoring to alleviate the woes of their brethren in bondage? Talk without effort is nothing. You are abundantly capable, gentlemen, of making yourselves men of distinction, and this gross neglect on your part causes my blood to boil within me. Here is the grand cause which hinders the rise and progress of the people of color. It is their want of laudable ambition and requisite courage. History informs us that we have sprung from one of the most learned nations of the whole earth from the sea. If not the parent of science, yes, poor, despised Africa was once the resort of sages and legislators of other nations, was esteemed the school for learning, and the most illustrious men in Greece flocked thither for instruction. But it is of no use for us to boast that we have sprung from this learned and enlightened nation, for this day a thick mist of moral gloom hangs over millions of our race. Our conditions as a people has been low for hundreds of years, and it will continue to be so unless, by true piety and virtue, we strive to regain that which we have lost. White Americans, by their prudence, economy, and exertions, distinguished for their knowledge of the arts and sciences, for their polite literature. Most of our color have been taught to stand in fear of the white man from their earliest infancy, to work as soon as they could walk, and call master before they scarce could lisp the name of mother. The rays of light and knowledge have been hid from our view. We have been taught to consider ourselves as scarce superior to the brute creation and have performed the most laborious part of American drudgery. Had we as people received one half the early advantages the whites have received, I would defy the government of these United States to deprive us any longer of our rights. As the burden of the Israelites was too great for Moses to bear, so also is our burden too great for our noble advocate to bear. You must feel interested, my brethren, in what he undertakes, and hold up his hands by your good words, or in spite of himself his soul will become discouraged, and his heart will die within him. For he has, as it were, the strong bulls of Bashan to contend with.
We hope you're enjoying our show. If you'd like to support BTC, go to www.brewstertheater.org.